Okay, now as we saw in these last few examples, we went over these and used our rules. If we were multiplying by the same sign, then the answer was always positive. When we multiply opposite signs, the answer is always negative. But let's work a few more examples and see what happens. Here we're multiplying more than one thing together. Well, it doesn't matter how many things actually you're multiplying. You technically can only do two at a time. So here we'd have to multiply the negative 2 times the 3 first. So 2 times 3 would be 6. And because our signs are opposite, that would be a negative 6. And then I'm going to recopy and start again. Now I'm multiplying negative 6 times negative 7. Well, 6 times 7 would be 42. And because the signs are the same, the answer is positive. In this next example, we're multiplying 4 things together. So we would have to start 2 at a time. 10 times negative 5, 10 times 5 would be 50. The signs are different, so the answer is negative, and then we'll multiply or copy down everything else. Now here, negative 50 times 0, well, anything times 0 is 0 because of that multiplication by 0 property. So I recopy, and now 0 times anything is still 0. So our answer is 0. Now, as you get better and better with these, when we saw this from the very beginning, all we're doing here is multiplying. Anytime you multiply by 0, the answer is automatically 0. So we could have from the very beginning just said, well, all this will just be 0. We could have done that. Okay, let's try another one here. Here again we have 4 things multiplied together, so we'll do 2 at a time. Negative 2 times negative 1. 2 times 1 would be 2. Because they are the same sign, the answer is positive. And then I'm recopying, everything else. Okay, next, 2 times 3 would be 6. And because they are both the same sign, it's positive. And I'm recopying everything else. 6 times 2 would be 12, and because they are opposite in sign, the answer is negative. Alright, for these next couple of examples here, this is very interesting because we're squaring. Now remember, squaring means to multiply something to itself. But what's so interesting here is these look like virtually the same problem, but they are not. Here, this exponent, or this power of 2, is only affecting the 3. That's it. It's as if this exponent could reach out and grab something, the first thing it would touch would be the 3, not the negative. So technically, it is only the 3 that is being squared. That literally means 3 times 3, and then we'll drop down our negative sign to mean the opposite of, or the negative. So 3 times 3 would be 9, and the opposite of that would be negative 9. Now over here, though, on the other hand, if the 2 were to reach out and touch something, it's going to touch that parenthesis. That means that everything inside the parenthesis is being squared. So this is literally negative 3 times negative 3. Well, again, 3 times 3 would be 9, but because they are the same sign, the answer is positive.